Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss RNDC's bankruptcy and if that will cause Congress to take a look at distributors. My name is Justine Mays. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Darren McRoy, Matt Modica, and Jeff Andresi.
Hey gang, what's up?
Hey there.
Hey everyone.
Hey, so yeah, we're going to be talking about RNDC. Obviously, I've heard the thing that, hey, they're too big to fail. Congress needs to step in and save them. No, they don't. They need to go away. They obviously, now there's ramifications of this. This is the bad thing. They are, and we'll talk about the numbers when we get to this, but they are in such debt that they may end up bringing down some other companies with them, perhaps even some distilleries that we like. Who knows? I haven't seen the full list of everybody that's involved, but when you're talking about in the billions of dollars, this could get ugly. So we'll see about that after the break. For right now, though, Jeff, who's working on a project here, said he had the question for us. What is that, sir? He's got argon gas out. He's doing all kinds of shit here. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, sorry. So do you have any situation or something about you with family? We could limit it to family, where your reputation precedes you. So everyone knows this is how he is, or she is, in Justine's case, and live with it. So your reputation precedes you on something that makes you unique, or something with the family.
Well,
So I have a couple things come to my mind right away while everyone else is thinking. The first one is, of course, everyone in my family will tell you I'm loud instantly, but everyone that's ever heard me will tell you that, right? I'm just loud. There's no other way around it. But honestly, probably what my reputation is in the family is doing all the small things before Thanksgiving or before Christmas that everyone else forgets about when they're focusing on the big things, and never touching cooking dinner for everyone and stuff like that. But making sure that we are comfortable sitting with 15 people or 10 people. I don't know why I said 15 in whatever room. The little things is what I will take care of. Nothing else is my department.
Okay.
Once it gets bigger, then
I would say within my family, I am the curator of traditions. We to make sure that we're doing certain things. I think for a family, it's important that you do those, because that becomes part of family history that then is hopefully continues to go on after you're gone. So, I've really taken a role in that with my family to make sure that we're making ice cream on July 4th, or that on the 23rd we started a tradition on Festivus and this goes back to when my dad was around, where we would make ravioli the day before, and then we would have that meal on Christmas Eve on Festivus. The airing of grievances, and then the feats of strength. Our feats of strength as we're rolling out ravioli, that becomes part of the tradition, and we've done that for a long time now. And everyone who's there helps out. So Say's been a new addition to the family. He has to help out and make the ravioli and stuff like that. And my idea is, at some point, I'm not going to be here anymore, but Kat will be there, and then hopefully she's making. If she has a family, I don't know whether that's going to happen or not, but if she has a family, they're doing that. And then if those family members are at some point there, I just like the idea of I'm the curator of the experiences. For my mom, I'm the guy who took over the position of the one that gets yelled at all the time. So I didn't realize, you don't realize that my mom is a type A person. She doesn't seem like it. She just seems like just a nice little old lady. She has to have somebody she's chewing out all the time. Yeah. That's her Russian heritage. Her parents, are Russian. Her grandparents are Russian. So they have to yell at people. And my dad took the brunt of all of that when he was like, I knew she was always on his ass and stuff like that. But when he died, that switched to me. I'm getting in trouble all the time from my mom, getting yelled at about stuff. I got banned from putting photos on her picture frame. I'm the one that's always getting yelled at for shit. And it's just nonstop. I mean, it's shit. You won't yell at my sister because my sister will give it back to you. And it doesn't matter who it is. So my mom doesn't want, to get in a screaming match. So I won't yell at my mom. So I get the brunt of the abuse. So, yeah.
So you're saying your sister inherited that trait from her mom? Like,
I would say so. Yeah, so for sure. My sister is fallen in line with the Russian heritage. So yeah, she's got it down. So yeah, you don't mess with her. So too volatile. No one gets in a fight with her because she's just too volatile. So that was the thing. I mean, one time we had my parents are paying for us to all go out to Vegas. They were all having fun, and she didn't want to go, and I said, okay, I get it. We want to do these things, and we're just going to do them. And if you want to sleep in, you can sleep. It's your vacation too. You can sleep in. And she's like, you motherfucker. She comes diving over a bed after me. I mean, I'm like a 28-year-old guy in a fight with his sister. I mean, what the hell's going on? I'm just trying to scratch me. I'm trying to hold her. She's just scratching me and all that. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Well, what are we doing here? Why is this happening? And then she's like, well, I got to go home. I'm like, okay, get a ticket. She's like, well, mom and dad got to buy it for me. I'm like, no, I'm not going to fight with you. I don't want to fight with you. I'm just saying this is how it is, So, yes. So, but we get along as adults. Let's say that. So
there you go.
So, yeah. Who else? What role do you play?
So I had to get this out of my curio cabinet behind me. But my dad made this for me.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a
powder horn?
Scrimshaw powder horn, and it's Peacemaker. And so that's, I think, I know his perspective for me was I'm the one that is going to probably hear both sides of the story and figure it out and help us all move forward with something, right? And so, and on this, and I never translated this. I should have translated it, but in Italian and Sicilian, he put non essere duci sino tu manciano, non essere amaro sino tu futano, which translated means do not be sweet lest you be eaten, do not be too sour lest you be shunned.
Okay.
So basically I can play both sides. And that's pretty, it's turned out to be pretty accurate as I've grown up, and I think that's why I tend to do.
I could see you play that role. I feel you're a very level-headed person, whereas I'm a knee-jerk, pissed off guy. We laugh about the yelling. Bourbon was my resolution is just to give back whatever I'm getting. If you're coming at me, I'm coming at you twice as hard. Whereas Matt seems like it'd be more like, hey, let's talk about this and let's figure out what your problem is and let's make it right. So, and that's probably I should strive to be that. I just unfortunately am who I am. Other than with my mom, I let my mom steamroll me because. I don't know. It's not a good look into getting a fight with your mom. So just let her. She's just got to blow
I've
off
never
steam.
won a fight with my mom. Like, it doesn't matter. She always wins. So
Right.
No. I'm that way with most situations and things, but and then I get to vent with Linda, which is kind of awesome at night. So I can just be like, "Can you freaking believe?"
Yeah, for sure. How about you, Justine? What role are you in your family?
Well, on top of the sarcastic and stubborn one, I'm also the dependable one that will get shit done when it needs to get done.
Okay, the dependable.
That's a good one.
And I also know within your family, again, I don't know your family. I've never met anyone. I saw a video of your dad recently, but that's my extent of knowledge of your family. I do know you're the outgoing one in your family. Your dad's outgoing, I guess, to some degree, but I know your brother and your mom are definitely not outgoing.
Yeah, my dad and I are the same, and my mom and my brother are the same.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, and they are not the outgoing ones.
Right. Yeah, and Justine's pretty quiet, so if you can imagine, like her brother, I don't think he's going to join us on podcasting anytime soon. Let's say that.
No.
I don't see that as being something he strives to do.
No, not at all. And my dad, I mean, if you think I'm outgoing, my dad is way more outgoing than I am. So, so yeah. I don't know. I feel like my brother is exactly like my mom, and I feel like I'm kind of like the 50-50 split in like personalities and looks.
Right.
Like my brother doesn't look anything like my parents. But I feel like when I'm with my mom, people say, "Oh, you look like your mom," and when I'm with my dad, people say, "Oh, you look like your dad." So I mean, I feel like I'm split down the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and in terms of, I think most marriages, it seems like most people who are introverted do end up with an extroverted spouse. A lot of times, it seems like double introvert is probably not a good thing. It seems like, I mean, and there's no better example of that. Darren knows this one. Our friends from Arkansas with the husband who doesn't talk to anybody, but the wife talks to everybody. It's just in between. They're but if you average out the two of them, they're completely normal. But
Interesting.
I think there are introverted couples. We just never see them because all they want to do is stay home, right? Like there's
definitely come out of their house.
Problems there.
Yeah, the ones that we see, you're right. The ones that we see out in public are the ones where it's split because you got to have someone who wants to engage. And again, an introvert doesn't mean you're a bad person. Doesn't mean you don't like people or anything like that. It just means you struggle with coming up with small talk and those type of things. You're kind of terrified of that stuff. It doesn't mean you want to have experiences. Doesn't mean you want to go out and go to the ABV Barrel Shop and taste whiskey and stuff like that. It just means you struggle with the human interaction component of it. So people who are extroverted sometimes don't understand that or don't realize that. They just think, oh, they're being standoffish. They don't want to chat or they don't like us or whatever. So, yeah.
I feel like I am an introverted person that does extroverted things.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's not that I hate doing them. Like I'll do it, but then I need like 4 days to recover afterwards.
Yeah, you get your energy by being alone.
Yeah. Yeah, I know how that is. But Justine got put on the spot a couple times this weekend. She did great. So she had to talk a little bit about her blends at one point to everybody. She also introduced me after I retired to the group. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, fun stuff. Matt, did you weigh in on this? Did you tell us the role you play within your family?
Yeah, Peacemaker.
Okay. Yep. Peacemaker, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot the whole thing. I mean,
good.
It's bad.
It was just a touching thing, but hey.
You went and got a prop and
From my father, who is no longer here, by the way.
Yeah. All right. On that note, it is time to drink. I'll go first. Again, Justine's out. She's driving. I'll go first. I've got Old Granddad 114 Single Barrel. This is from Kent. I haven't made a lot of damage in this, despite the fact that I've opened it on several shows, because, again, we don't do huge pours on the shows like we used to. Those nights didn't end well. So let's see what we got here. Pretty quiet, some squeak at the beginning. I'm going to need some help, basically, to win this thing, but I do have the lead at this point. I'll say that. Next up is going to be Jeff. Jeff, what do you got there, man?
So can I give my answer to my own question first?
Oh, you didn't answer. Sure.
I did not.
Well, then I got fucked up on the thing. You should have
I
jumped in
know
there.
it was because Justine had a
There's
good
come a
one.
flow. There's a flow of the show, and now we're all right. Go ahead.
I know I'm messing up the flow. That's my.
When you said that you went to Matt, no, I was the one that asked the question because remember I went to Matt. And I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, I could have jumped in. Anyway, okay. So this weekend we had my mom's 80th birthday party, and my brother and I did ribs. My brother did chicken. And we were in the kitchen getting, it's last minute stuff. We're cutting the rib, we're saucing, cutting the rib, putting them in the roasters. And my cousin came into the party, and she kept walking by and kind of waving through the window or something like that. Then finally we were done, we're going out to eat, and my cousin's standing there waiting for me. She said, so I've always been known, like at Thanksgiving, if Dad's in the kitchen, keep your ass out of there because he'll frickin' yell at you. Because they're getting, and everyone at Thanksgiving at my place, it's the best example, is you bring something, and we try to lay it out, so I got to be the busy one at this time. We got to get this done. Nope, everyone just piles in there at, 2 hours before we're going to eat so they can make their sweet potatoes or whatever. And we're just tripping over each other. I have a small kitchen, so I yell, get the hell out. So my cousin said, well, I was afraid to come in the kitchen because your daughters, gave me the heads up. So not only is it just within immediate family, they're spreading the word. So it's bigger than just my, tightest family that I see all the time. So that's my thing. If I'm doing something, you better stay out of my way.
Better stay out of your way. I think that's a good policy.
Nothing wrong with that.
Policy.
Anyway, it's over the top because I get so frustrated so easy. Just bark.
Yes.
Anyway.
Hopefully the warden is listening to that and she takes note. So that'd be a good thing. That would be helpful because when she's cooking in the kitchen, man, if I'm in the way, get the fuck out of the way. Now, when I'm barbecuing, I'm back and forth. I might have to get plates or whatever. I got to rinse something off. She's in the way, fucking around in the kitchen, doing whatever she wants, and I'm like, please help me out here. I'm hustling. I'm back and forth. I got to do this stuff. She doesn't respect the outdoor chef. I guess her mind, the indoor chef is the hierarchy. The outdoor chef doesn't deserve any respect, and you can be in that person's way. But hopefully she heard that, Jeff.
Hopefully that's a good
PSA. Begin to respect the kitchen that needs to be used by the outdoor chef as well. So
the artist wants to cook with me, and I like to cook with her, but I want to do my stuff, and I want her to do her stuff. But then she says, yeah, but if I'm doing my stuff and I don't do it like you would, you yell at me or you give me a look or something. So it's an issue I have. Hopefully everyone can live with it. So
okay, all right.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I will pop a bottle.
Let's go back and read. It's been a long time. I did a old Granddad 114 single barrel that was explosive. Maybe one of the best cork pops we ever had on here. But go ahead. With that in mind,
I do remember it differently, but I have a bottle of the Blackout, which I heard may be the first and last. I don't know that.
Yes, yeah. Those guys said they're done with it.
Oh my word.
Okay, that was
all that for a little.
That was disappointing. I legit have the lead there, so no one can be like, well, Jeff beat you. No, I don't think so. All right, Darren, you look ready to go. What do you got?
I am so ready to go because I actually have something in the same exact bottle shape as you do. So this is a true head-to-head competition.
Okay.
I have Old Overholt Cast Strength 11 year.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. That sounded pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Matt, we'll let you be the judge. Who's got the lead, me or Darren?
Darren.
Okay, Darren has the lead. No matter how wrong we all agree that is,
can someone jump in on your behalf and just say how wrong that was?
I know, yeah, that was the wrong call there, but I was trying to be nice. I let him do it. Looks like Darren lost some cork there. He's fishing something out there.
There's some cork remnants on the edge, evidently.
Okay, all right. Matt, you're last but not least. Darren has the lead.
I've got Yellowstone pick, the challenge ABV Barrel Shop picks.
Okay, nice. Wow, that's argument's over.
Yep.
That was good.
I don't have to worry about the judging there because Matt clearly
Cheers
won.
again to Matt. Very nice.
Cheers.
All right. We'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about RNDC. They're filing bankruptcy. And what does this mean? What sort of reverberations are we going to feel throughout the bourbon industry? And could this potentially cause some change to happen? We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
Hello, this is Jeff from Iowa, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily with Colonel Steve.
Welcome back. Today on the show, we are talking about the impact of RNDC's bankruptcy.
Yes, we are. So I own a liquor store, and I said this before I owned a liquor store, and I've continued to say that now that I am involved in the liquor store side, that distributors are, they are the bane of everyone's existence that is in the industry. It adds a layer of cost in there. How much are they really doing? Not a whole lot. Particularly for a store like us, you get to the bigger stores, I get it. They'll put someone in there that'll stock their shelves and stuff like that. That's one of the things that they do. For a store like us, they're just they're adding on between 30 and 32% to cost, and there's no difference of having them versus having if you think about, okay, so distributor doesn't exist, what would happen? We would buy whiskey directly from a distillery. They would ship it via freight carrier. That freight carrier would drop it off at our front door. What happens when a distributor does it? They get shipped via freight, goes to their warehouse. They then take it from their warehouse to us and drop it off at our front door. The process would be exactly the same, but we would save 32%. Our customers would save 32%. Obviously we have to pass that along. We're not just eating that. We're not, we got to eat 32%. No, our customers ultimately are the ones that pay for that. We would like to take that away and get rid of that, but we can't. So we'd love to see some legislation change, and maybe this pulls it to the forefront, because this is bad. This one is, I don't know how do they get to this point. There should be a lot of people in trouble for this. Not only the organization, but the banks that lent them the money and things like that allow this to get to this point. Their assets are going to total, once they liquidate everything, they're guessing between $500 million and $1 billion. They're not exactly sure how much they owe just yet, but they say it is going to range between $1 billion and $10 billion once the final tally comes together. That is stiffing a lot of people. There's a couple that are listed in here early on. They're still working on this, but $94 million from Jose Cuervo. We see Luxco, $4 million, or no, $3.5 million. Yeah. Ernest and Julio Gallo, a couple $1 million, it looks like, and there's going to be a lot more. There's a lot more that has to add up to $10 million. And then what impact does that have? These companies, there may be some distilleries that have been holding on in hopes of they get their bill paid. Well, if they do get anything, it looks like it's going to be pennies on the dollar at this point. And what impact does that have on them? There could be reverberations that leads to more distilleries filing bankruptcy. We'll see.
And likely hits the smaller players. Probably the craft, if they've got stuff that's flowing through there, their immediate cash flow can be more important.
Royce Neely's not part of this, but if it was him, imagine the impact of that versus Jose Cuervo. Jose Cuervo's not going to go away. They'll be fine. That's a big hit for anybody, $94 million. But they'll survive.
I guess so I have a stupid question. Stupid question is this. So, let's just say Jose Cuervo, $94 million they have tied up there. Is that the amount of inventory that they pushed through and technically sold through the distributor?
Correct.
And they just haven't collected on it yet or whatever?
RNDC is huge, so they probably negotiate instead of 30 days, 45, or maybe even up to 90 is what the thing's saying. So, so they're getting a bunch of product in. That they're not paying for, of course, and then they apparently didn't pay for it. And then I guess they probably were playing the game of, hey, we're having some cash flow issues, send us some more, and then we'll get the other bills paid.
Snowball
it spirals. The death spiral happens.
I thought it was a great question, Matt, because I was going to ask, what are the assets of a distributor?
Right.
So it's the inventory.
It's the inventory and the trucks and that kind of stuff. The equipment, the forklifts and all that. They'll have to
talk about the inventory that's not there anymore, right? That they've already distributed.
They push it out, right? Yeah.
So
yeah. And when you don't have any money, it ends up being a Ponzi scheme, right? Ponzi scheme-ish at some point. You're probably, because if you're looking at having $1 billion in assets and $10 billion in debt, you start kind of just throwing a little bit out there to the ones who try to quiet. You're putting out fires. You're like, oh, they're really honest. Let's send them, $50,000, and they'll get then you keep who can we get more money from? So send us some stuff, because that creates some cash flow for them, because the stores will be paying them. So that's what happened. But that's far too much. Ultimately what's going to happen is the people at the heads of the organization, there's some accountability there too, to keep sending stuff in and not getting paid for it. I get it. You're hoping that things are going to turn around. And there's also this idea that they are too big to fail. So, hey, they're going to be good for it, right? RNDC, they're huge. They're the largest distributor in the United States. They're not going to go out of business. So I will say, but at some point there is some personal accountability there for continuing to sell the product. But there's banks for loaning them money, and obviously at what point, continuing to do business like that, at what point it is, hey, that's just some bad business. At what point is it criminal? What point is, hey, us continuing to take money when we know there's absolutely no fucking chance we're going to do that, to continue to tell people to send us product? I think we start getting into some gray area there, right? I mean, when you're looking at up to $10 billion in debt, I think that at some point you realize, hey, this is going to implode at some point. But to continue to act like you're okay.
Think about the small distilleries and stuff,
right?
The craft ones that are, they're nowhere near this volume or dollar amount, but it's still big dollars for them, right? I mean,
exactly,
they're never going to get anything.
Right.
So how, in something like this, I mean, is there any fear? I mean, there must be, that it's a precursor to a bunch of others that could be struggling. I don't know how a distributor gets in trouble. I don't know the business model.
They really shouldn't. They really shouldn't.
So, I mean, I hope, but if that's the case, then this is an example of just total mismanagement, and maybe even criminal mismanagement, like you said, Steve. But I'd hope it's not a sign of something bigger.
Yeah.
For the industry.
What do you got there, Darren?
So one thing I say a lot to people at the shop, because I'm not going to say I understand how distributors work, because I actually understand 0% of how the distributors work. But I have talked to enough people that work for distributors to kind of realize that most of the people that end up working there will make little mistakes. And I think it just, when you have as a big of a range as RNDC does, all of these little mistakes that there's no real organizational checks and balances for cost you a lot of money. Right? And distributors, everyone, when we're talking about distributors, they're like, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, the thing about distributors is they don't make sense. They exist because they are legally have to exist to be the middleman between distributors or between distillers and breweries and everything and liquor stores. And the people that work there just, I think they do okay at their job. I just don't think any distributor in the country, you can spread this out to anyone, not just RNDC. I just don't think the distribution business is as easy or as simple as we sometimes make it feel. So I think there's a lot of this getting lost, and but it comes down to the distributor not being able to execute a play. They like the amount of stories I could tell you of something being pretty simple to most people is very complicated for a distributor to do. Now, do I think that RNDC going out is going to make Congress say something? I don't think so, because I think the other distributors have enough money to make sure Congress shuts up. That's just my opinion. I don't think this is going to be changing for the better, but there's so many little problems with distributors that it all adds up to create this big one, or at least that is my going theory. I don't think it's one mastermind or anything. I think it's just a bunch of little mistakes that cost a lot of money each time one happens, and it leads to this big foray.
Here's where they get in trouble. Go ahead, Justine.
It's just there's never any repercussions for their little mistakes that are actually big fucking mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, sending somebody's store pick to a different store in a different state, getting somebody's store pick in April and then fucking sitting on it and not wanting to deliver it.
Right.
And then when they do deliver it, don't give them the barrel that's technically theirs either. It's just like they fuck up all the time and nobody holds them accountable.
They're not accountable because we have to use them. We can't be like, all right, we're done with them. We don't. No, we have to. Next time we get a barrel pick, guess what we got? We got to go back to them. So that's why I'm hopeful that enough people complain that maybe this bubbles up, because now you're talking about businesses going out of business because of what a distributor did. I think that could lead to Congress maybe having to take a look at it. And is this something that we really need? Because when you're talking about people getting stiffed for up to $10 billion, or if they do come up with $1 billion, $9 billion is a lot of money. I used to work for a huge global corporation. It was an $8 billion company. Huge. So to piss away $9 billion that's going to be spread out across from small local distilleries to huge conglomerates, there's going to be a request to take a look at this, and we'll see what happens. Where they are kind of a real, we have to throw out how the ABV Barrel Shop does business, because if every shop just was like us, distributor would be definitely the world's greatest job, because they really don't have any investment, because we would owe them within 30 days. And sometimes we don't even have, like a big company like RNDC, we probably wouldn't even have credit with, our two biggest distributors in Missouri, we have no credit with one. We pay with a check when it arrives. The second one, we get 1 day credit. We get to sign for it, and then the next day they pull it out of our bank account.
Wow.
That's it. We get 1 day. 1 day credit. But they probably have then 30 to 90 days to pay that. So in reality, they should never default if they were only doing business like that. Where they do get into some trouble, they do have to buy shelf stock for all of their distilleries that they work with, because some store in Columbia, Missouri, or Springfield, Missouri wants 2 cases of this to go on their shelf. They have to have that in inventory that they send to them. So in some ways, that's where they can get in trouble too. Or is enough going out of what they've had come in? They have to make sure they're moving that and getting that out on the shelves. And again, a small distributor with few accounts, not going to matter. RNDC, huge with, hundreds of accounts in their portfolio in every market, because they're not just doing bourbon, they're doing wine and beer and everything. You can see where that is. You could get in some trouble if you mismanage that. But
is that part of their argument? Is they've got a whole bunch of warehouses sitting full of great product that no one's ordering from them?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I haven't even heard an RNDC argument. Like that is the level that distributors, they're not even like arguing this. Like they're not issuing public statements. They just do what they want to do. And then in the courtrooms, I'm sure their lawyers have things to say, but I don't trust.
We'll have to hear more. Yeah. This was just filed earlier this week, the bankruptcy.
What type of bankruptcy did they file? For reorganization or for?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
The only two I ever hear are 7 or 11, Chapter 11.
I thought it was Chapter 11, but I
thought it was Chapter 11 too, but I am not 100% sure right now.
Right. Chapter 11, voluntary Chapter 11.
Voluntary Chapter
11.
According to the article.
Yeah.
So they just want to continue to do business and.
Yeah. So basically,
get out of this debt, and
So what they're saying is, by the way, okay, so we come up $9 billion short, just write all that off. We'll put together, whatever we can scrape together. We'll distribute that to everybody that's involved, and we're going to start doing bullshit.
That's where I think.
That's too much.
That somebody can step in and say, no, you don't get to reorganize.
That's too much. If it's, if you get in a little bit over your head, you make it, anything in business. We could make a few mistakes at the barrel shop, and next thing you know, you're cash strapped and you're in trouble. I get that. This isn't just making a few little minor mistakes along the way. This is terrible. To be that far,
well, it looks
millions of dollars.
And they've got an interesting history, at least according to the article. It says Sazerac sued them in January 23, alleging $38.6 million in unpaid invoices, and they countersued, and the case is still ongoing.
It's ongoing, so yeah.
So sounds like really quality leadership there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
And it is from top down at distributors. The problem starts at the top, and it's just built into the law, and so all this talk about it is probably going to do something, but I see what happening is they roll over and be like, RNC, we'll default some of those loans for you. There's so much power, and it would break so much of the taxes and everything, because the distributors still have to pay taxes. That's the main reason why they exist, at least I think, is to collect another layer of taxes to move it on.
It just puts more money in the government.
Darren, that's a great point. Is with other businesses that aren't regulated, when the bad news starts coming out, their customers start going somewhere else. Yep. You don't have a choice here. So as essentially a monopoly, correct. That might not be the right term, but nobody had a choice. Sazerac didn't have a choice to start moving stuff somewhere else.
Yeah. In some states you can move. In Missouri, for instance, and a lot of other states, there's a franchise law, which means you sign with them for life. Again, these were set up by the distributors, taking their money, working with the local legislators in each state, and a franchise state. We've got a couple really good accounts where there's a distributor ran into financial issues. They can't even get out of their contracts, even though they can't get anything new in. They're still tied to this one, and the reason why they hold on to that is because there's a penalty associated with that. You can get out of it. You got to pay them 3 years worth of sales. So you go back if you sold. Let's just do very easy numbers. If you sold $100,000 the last 3 years, you can get out of it. You pay $300,000. So that's why it even lasts through bankruptcy, because if one of these accounts says, you know what, I got to get it and sell them back in the market. Here's $300,000 that goes towards their assets. So they get to hold on to you even through bankruptcy. I mean, it's crazy. Terrible. How does that help? How does that protect our consumers? How does it protect small businesses? It protects one entity, the distributor. Everything is the distributor. They're just terrible. So I hope this opens up some eyes, and a lot of people are going to get stiff. They're going to lose a lot of money, but that may lead to the legislation that may help fix this industry for sure.
Let's hope none of our friends get hurt so bad they don't get to put their shingle out anymore.
Yeah.
Good thing is RNC was too big for a lot of the smaller guys. Like they avoided, I'm sure there's some under them, but
sure, there's definitely some smaller ones that they thought were up and coming, or that type of thing.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're not large scale small guys, because a lot of those know that they'll get lost in that big portfolio and never selected to go with them. So
yeah.
And
the other thing about just this whole process and Steve was just talking about the franchise states, right? Yeah, of course you're locked in there. But even if you're in Wisconsin, which I know for a fact is not a Wisconsin state, is the only one, or
a franchise state. Yeah, it is a Wisconsin state. Wisconsin is a Wisconsin state.
Even though Justin might disagree, being from Michigan. But Wisconsin, I know, is not a franchise state. They can leave pretty easily. But if you're a company as big as Luxco, if you're a company as big as I can't remember the other. Four Roses was in this lawsuit, and all these big companies like that, switching a distributor probably would cost you more money than flipping, trying to get going back or staying with the same one and buying out of a franchise law, because you have to retrain all of their salespeople on all your products. You have to provide all of this other information to them. It is hours and hours and hours of government labels. You have to get everything that you were selling in your old distributor to your new distributor and legally approved. And then they have to start figuring out how to order things correctly. And so even the cost of non-franchise states switching distributors is a big one. That's why
it's tough. Yeah.
Buffalo Trace doesn't do it lightly when they started this whole thing with RNDC.
Everything's a pain to switch,
it's a hard decision.
Yeah, they say you should always shop insurance and then just move to keep your. That's a pain in the ass. But imagine, being everything that Darren just talked about. Have to do all that kind of stuff. It's hard. You don't want to have to do that if you don't have to. So yeah, but it's a mess. Distributors are bad. This shows how bad it can be right here.
Distributors are bad. Okay.
So the podcast, the Bourbon Nerds were in today, and one of the things we talked about was their local Oklahoma distillery that they like so much has been spending the last 4 months in I don't even know, at the capital city, just asking them to help with these distribution laws. And a group of Missouri distillers went to Jeff City and did the same thing not too terribly long ago, right? And so everyone in the industry knows it's a problem besides the distributors.
Right.
And that seems like where we're stuck right now. The distributors will throw more money at it to keep it from changing.
Right, yeah.
That's where all this money's actually going, is to keep the rules from changing.
Yeah, because they've got it pretty good for doing nothing. Jeff, get that microphone fixed.
I know. It's having trouble today.
There we go. All right. Well, that's it. We'll have to see what happens. This is kind of breaking news. It just happened this week. Are all the facts out yet? No, they're not. It's going to continue to come out. It'll continue to evolve. We're just trying to make sure you guys are up to speed of what's going on. We don't have all the answers. No one has all the answers. We're going to have to just follow along and see what happens, and we'll go from there. We're going to wrap this one up, as we always do, by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at the Bourbon Adventures.
All right, Matt.
You can find me at Copper Road Experiences. Info at copperroadexperiences.com.
All right, Jeff.
I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and the Cigar Dojo, Jeff Andreezy, 2 I's and 2 Z's.
All right, Justine.
Currently, I'm 35 minutes from home, and also on Instagram at JA_Maze.
I'm glad we were able to make a couple hours a little bit more pleasant. You got to hang out with us.
Yes, I'm glad that this worked and you guys could keep me company, because this has definitely made my trip a hell of a lot better.
Thanks for popping in.
Yeah,
unexpected.
It worked, but it just worked out too, because Becca, bailed on us, so it was perfect. So very cool. All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akel across all social media. ABVnetwork.com, that's where you can find our content, listen to our past shows, that type of thing. ABVBarrelShop.com, everything that's happening with the Barrel Shop, including events, what's in stock, etc. And last but not least, Bourbon Sasquatch on YouTube. Justine, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. Also, if you like what we're doing, please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. Finance will have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.